if Winston Peters chucked his toys and called a snap election tomorrow, and by the end of this year there was a Labour-led coalition, what could be done like in the immediate future? So what I guess I'm saying is, if the other lot decided to do it by the end of the year, what could you guys do if you were in there by the end of this year, hypothetically, to turn this around quickly? What has to happen?
It'd be that government investment in those infrastructure projects. So, for example, the government cut back on the housing with Kāinga Ora. In my local area of Mana, in particular Porirua, they've cancelled hundreds of housing jobs straight away. If you turn that tap back on, those construction workers can start working. Those construction workers or infrastructure companies, they then can get other suppliers to supply them the goods that they need. It starts to pick up, that starts to have that ripple effect in the economy, because it's not just the people on the tools, it's the people that supply them the goods, and then the people that supply them the goods, etc., etc. So that would be a really quick thing to help jumpstart, is to basically make sure that those infrastructure projects are underway.
Could we turn that tap back on? I mean, when you've lost 18,000 tradies, would there be the people now here to turn those taps back on?
And that's a really good question, because we've lost 18,000 construction sector roles, right? So that's a question that basically, if the hypothetical, as you say, if everything else falls and we have to come back into government, we need to move really quickly, because we need to stop that brain drain basically to overseas.
You have to make it more attractive for builders to come back to New Zealand than stay on the Gold Coast.
Well, for example, that apprenticeship Sparky that's on there, that was on that news piece that you just shared, there would be a job for him as long as it happened quickly, because there is a clear indication that, well, we're going back to building more homes. We're going back to doing those classroom rebuilds. We're going back to those hospital builds, etc. The government just re-announced a whole bunch of projects a couple of weeks ago that were basically announced, but then funded, but then they stopped it while they decided to review it. So it's a vicious cycle. But that's why, when it comes to infrastructure, why we've taken the position that when we come in, that we're going to honour the contracts as much as possible, because we know that's what leads to losing workers. And we're the Labour Party. Labour and work just go hand in hand. So it's why it's so important that we take that careful step when we come back in.